Hi guys, and welcome back to AKA Mama. Today I'm going to be talking about my 10 favorite Zimbabwean slang words. 8 of them are Shona and 2 of them are Ndebele Zulu. And then at the end of the video, I'm going to tell you which one of those 10 words that my son absolutely loves using and it tickles me every single time. Okay, so in general, keeping up with Zim slang is so hard, especially if you're not at home. Like that space evolves so fast. You can go back to Zimbabwe 2 months down the line and listening on a conversation and people are using words that you're not even familiar with. That's how fast paced the slang scene is. Okay, so 2018, when I went home in November, I remember sitting, with a group of people. They were having a conversation. And I'm one of those people where if I don't know something, I like to ask it, oh, what does this mean? But sometimes with the Zim slang thing, I'm a bit different. I pick up a word and I'm like, okay, this is a new word. But if I keep hearing it more often and I'm not understanding the context, then I ask. I don't always want to be too quick, because that's when people be like, my nini, oh mom, zamuzivi, and Anyway, 2018 November, sitting with a group of people and people keep talking about my V11. This is absolutely not making sense to me, but this word keeps popping up. And then this lady was like to me, Tafara, do you know what V11s are? I was like, no, I actually don't know. So this is a slang word that stemmed from the 2018 elections. In a nutshell, when being used in slang, V11 means like proof, receipts, screenshots, something like that. So if somebody tells a story and a person denies it, you can be like, and name a V11, like I got the proof. Ooh, and one that I really love, Deepisa. Deepisa means, you're overthinking, thinking too much about something, like more than you normally should. So for example, let's say somebody walks past you and they don't greet you and you start saying, oh my gosh, I saw Tafara and she just walked past me. Maybe she's angry at me because of XYZ, and you start speculating, like, I was a Deepisa. Or I can get to Deepisa, like if somebody's taking it a little too far than necessary. I just love the word. I don't know. I think I love the sound and then the meaning. And then also because one of my sisters, when she throws it in, she'll be trying to stop me from overthinking about something. And I wouldn't have, necessarily classified what I'm speaking about or thinking about as overthinking. And if somebody were to say to me, Taff, you're overthinking it, I'll be like, no, I'm not. But when she says to me, Deepisa, that word, there's something about it. It has more impact than overthinking. Now the next word, this word I actually really found super annoying when I picked up on it, and I didn't pick up on it in conversation, like verbal conversations. I picked on it on social media, WhatsApp text, Facebook comments, Instagram, that kind of thing. All of a sudden, people were writing Waaaaal. So I initially didn't know what the heck is Waaaaal, only to find that it means wow. And I found that so irritating because it's like, why are you saying Waaaaal when you can just say wow? And it took me a very, 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 very long time to familiarize with this word. And then when I got over my annoyance, I was now the one unleashing Waaaaal. So I love it. I used to hate it. I don't use it that much anymore because it's kind of old. But once in a blue moon, maybe if I want to annoy someone that I know also doesn't like the word, I'll write Waaaaal or I'll say it. But no, I don't really say it much. Once in a blue moon. I don't know. It's just a written reaction most of the time. All right. So the next word, I also found it very, very annoying before it grew onto me. And what I realized with time, though, is whoever introduces you to a slang word or a foreign word, whether you like the person or not, has a really big impact on how you feel about the word. So when I first heard Bholato, I was like, what the heck is that? Okay, so, and then I found out it means, it's all good, things are G. And I was so annoyed because why are we adding lato to bo? Why does it have to become Bholato? I found it so annoying, but I have a relative that I really like that says Bholato so often. He used to say Bholato all the time till this word finally grew on me, and then I also became Team Bholato. It's a bit old now. I don't use it anymore, I think. But at the time Payairira Wediri, I ended up liking it. All right, so the next one, this is adopted from South African slang and it means dating or relationship life, and it's Umjolo. So the thing is, again, I usually pick up on these things on social media, on WhatsApp, Facebook, Instagram, before I actually hear people saying it. I told my sister the story the other day and she absolutely laughed at me. So when I first saw this word, of course, it was definitely not a Shona word because we don't have the letter L in Shona. And because I speak German, of course I know some Zimbabweans and South Africans that speak German. When I first read it, I read the J like a German J. So I thought it was Umjolo, but I didn't understand. I found the word so foreign and I couldn't understand the context. What exactly does it mean? Does it mean you're single? Does it mean you're heartbroken? Does it mean you're married? Somehow it was always used in a context that was dramatic. But then I finally, found out that it means, dating or relationship life. And sometimes when somebody tells their story, I'm like, ha, Umjolo. So I like that word, but I love it because it took me so long to actually get my head around it and understand what it means and understand that it's pronounced Umjolo, not Umjolo. The next one, it's not a word, it's 2 words, Zvadirwa Jecha. I absolutely love that term because it's so descriptive. Like even if you're hearing it for the first time, depending on the context, right? When somebody's telling their story and they're narrating this happened and then that, Zvadirwa Jecha. Like if you're paying attention, you'll understand, okay, literally it means sand is poured over. So it is used in the context when the deal is not pulling through, something is not working, either somebody is the reason why things didn't follow through, or if you're throwing a party, the music is too loud, and then the neighbors call the police, somebody can be like, Zvadirwa Jecha. Like if you then get to the party and there's no music, you'll be like, Zvadirwa Jecha, nana, so and so, they call the popos. I love it because it's so descriptive, it's so expressive, and you immediately understand what is meant in that moment. Now, the next one, it's not traditionally classified as slang, but I'm going to classify it as slang because I speak Shona, but it's a Ndebele or Zulu word. So when I'm using it, when I'm speaking in English or Shona, then it becomes slang. So the word Phela. So Phela is a conversational filler that can mean a few different things depending on the context, depending on the tone. So, it could mean I mean, or after all, or it can be confirming something or reinforcing a statement that you've made. So I really love this one, though I think I grew to love it because one of my sisters picked on the fact that I still use this word. I use Phela so often. I use it when it's like, when you're not understanding like the situation at hand. It's like, Phela, you should know this. And I think why it shows up on my list is because my sister is tickled so much by the fact that I still use this word. So her picking up on that made me fall in love with the word even more. And then there's Zvirikufaya. This is like a classic one. I think it went viral around about 2014 or somewhere thereabout. And it means, life is good, it's lit. If people are at a hangout, they can say, Zvirikufaya. Or if, you're at a party, you're at a function, you're at a hangout with your friends or your family, and you want to express how you're feeling whilst you're there or what the vibe is wherever you're at, you can say Zvirikufaya. So I like that. It's so positive. And oh my gosh, it was somewhat overused. I have the Zvirikufaya sticker on my car, and I think a couple of people have almost driven into my car because they were trying to read Huti. Zvirikufaya? What the heck? I actually don't know what that potentially sounds like for a German person that doesn't know how to read it. But everywhere I've worked, I've always had my colleagues come into my office and they're like, hey Tafara, I always wanted to ask you something. And it used to be one of those things where like, even like random colleagues that I have nothing to do with, that I see here and there, I'll be like, yeah, something you've always wanted to ask me. Yeah, that sticker on your car, what does it mean? And then I have a friend of mine that once asked me what it meant. I explained to her, and then she researched and then sent me information about some Zvirikufaya festival that was happening in Berlin. And it's like, it's so interesting how much curiosity and interest is around a foreign word when people are confronted with it. Yeah, Zvirikufaya is one of them for me. The next one that I'm going to touch on is Wangu. This is a word, I don't really use it, but I like the meaning, and it means mine. And the first time that a friend of mine used this word on me, like this was a friend from junior school, he messaged me and he's like, Wangu. I'm like, what the heck? Like, what are you actually trying to say? And then he explained and I'm like, I'm not yours. And then he gave further context on what the meaning of the word is and how it's used. And then I grew to like it. So it's not a word I commonly use, but I would also only use it with certain people. Yeah, because when it comes to Wangu, I think no Deepisa a little bit. But I like the word, the meaning. Or even when you're in Zim, right? And people meet up and they're like, Wangu. I like that. It has something. And the last one is Wadii. I absolutely love Wadii. And it's like, you know, a calm way of saying, what's up? How you doing? And I know I absolutely love this word because I was first introduced to it by my sister. As you can see, you know, the association with my sister and these Zim slang words has an impact on how much I like them. But I was introduced by this Wadii by my little sister. But I think when she says it in such a cool way. She doesn't just say Wadii like me. She'll be like Wadii. I don't know if you can hear the difference. But the first time she said it, I was like, "Huh? What does that mean?" And then she explained to me, and then I remember asking, "Okay, so kana manati Wadii, how do you respond back to that?" And then I said to her, do the parents know this? Because my parents are up to speed with a lot of stuff. I just like knowing, do they know? Do they not know? Then I know. If they know, then it's really it. And then she said they know. I was like, okay, next time we're on a group call with dad, I want you to say to him, Wadii. Like, I want you to prove to me that he knows it. And then she did it, and my dad responded, and I was so impressed. I was like, oh my gosh. So I just really love Wadii because it has this oomph. I like it. So yeah, those are my 10 favorite Zim slang words. And I said at the beginning of the video, I would tell you guys which one my son uses. Actually, I would like it. I know not everybody's going to do it, but if you can, before I tell you which is the word that my son uses, please just write in the comment section the word that you think he says. It's only one of these. He does not use 9 of the others. Anyway, yes, you can even press pause just to type because now I'm about to say what the word is. The word my son uses is Phela. Oh my gosh, it is so funny. And I love it. Initially, he used to laugh at me when I would say Phela to him. And often it was when I was repeating something I've told him before. And it's like, you know, just do it. Either associated with tidying toys or whatever it is. And then he caught on it and he actually appropriately uses Phela. So funny. I don't know which of these are the Zim slang words he's going to catch on or he's going to use. Or one day he's going to ask me, Mom, what does Wadii mean? I'll be happy if that question comes. But guys, keeping up with Zim slang is so hard. Like now when we were home in August, one of the new words that I caught on was Bhuru. Everybody's talking about Bhuru. And if my memory serves me right, Bhuru is $100 bill. How does it become Bhuru? It's so hard sometimes to understand the connection when you're not in Zim. So yes, this is something I forgot to ask Kuti. How does $100 bill become Bhuru? Anyway, I hope that you guys enjoyed this episode. If you know somebody who struggles with keeping up with Zim slang or who absolutely loves Zim slang, don't hesitate to share this video. Like if you haven't already, and if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please go ahead and do so. Thank you so much and see you next time.
Like, comment, subscribe, and share.